This is AXSIOM. AXSIOM means an agreed upon self-evident truth. Hi there, everyone. I'm Shirley, the founder of AXSIOM. For the past 30 years, I've taught practical philosophy, helping people understand and apply deep truths to create real change in their lives. I've lived through the noise, found what works, and made it my mission to share these tools with others. This is the story of how it all began. How a lost kid with a head full of questions turned a painful journey into a lifelong purpose, transforming her life and helping many others. Back in the late 60s, I was a skinny, nerdy 11-year-old with a long ponytail down my back. A deeply curious, introverted kid sitting in a dusty old classroom one Sunday afternoon. Some of you might remember those old wooden desks scribbled on, chewing gum stuck underneath, and a little groove for your fountain pen. I sat there, lost in thought, overwhelmed by how bad things felt. Life at home was abusive. School felt like a prison, not because I didn't love learning, but because the rigid, cold system of school was not compatible with who I was. Everywhere I turned, I felt trapped. To my right, I stared out the big sash window exposing the bright view stuff. To my left was the dreaded school sports field. Why dreaded? Because a couple of years earlier, I'd been shoved into a sports day egg and spoon race with zero preparation. I came stone last in front of the entire school. That was my whole athletic and sporting career over before it began. Instead, I stepped into books. I became a school librarian, reading up to 2 novels a day. Sitting at the desk that sunny day, something strange happened. I had this sudden, almost electric, deeply profound thought. Who am I? What am I? Where am I? What is life all about? And how come no one I know seems to know the answers to these questions? Concurrent to that thought, I had the sensation of moving out of my body. I got a fright and snapped right back in, somewhat shaky. That moment lit a fire in me. Right there, I became a philosopher. Philosophy, meaning the love of and search for truth, wisdom, and knowledge, became my life's mission. But not the academic kind, not the theory for the sake of theory. I wanted real answers to real questions. Nobody around me seemed to care about the lack of answers to these questions. My girlfriends were planning their wedding days way into the future. I was trying to understand the universe. None of us deterred me. Curiosity became my engine. Soon I was buried in the local library. I read everything: philosophy, religion, science fiction, Eastern mysticism, you name it. At 14, I found Lobsang Rampan, Eastern monk, who wrote about astral travel. I tried it night after night. Nothing happened, but I kept searching. The more I read, the more frustrated I became. Nothing stuck. Nothing changed me. I could not find a solution to my misery and the question about the universe. Meanwhile, I was slipping deeper into depression. I was painfully introverted, shut off from the world, and emotionally numb. By 15, I was smoking weed, dabbling in drugs, and drinking alcohol. Not for fun, but to escape. It didn't help. It just made everything worse. At 17, I found myself in a dysfunctional marriage and became a young mother. By 19, I was a single parent, broke, overwhelmed, and battling a serious eating disorder. My weight would swing from one extreme to the other. Life was a constant struggle. One Sunday afternoon, I lay on my bed in a tiny flat. My son played nearby. I felt hollow, like there was nothing left. I even had the consideration of ending my life, but knew that would solve nothing. All those books, all those ideas, none of them had given me the breakthrough I needed. And yet something inside me whispered, keep going. Not long after that Sunday afternoon, during my lunch break, I walked into my favorite bookstore called Adams. I loved this place. There were books everywhere, shelves that went all the way up to the ceiling. There were 3 floors and we climbed up a little wooden staircase. to get to the next floor. I would like to spend hours there browsing through all these amazing books. On that day, I wasn't looking for anything in particular. Then I saw it. The Power of Positive Thinking by Dr. Norman Vincent Peale. I bought it, read it, and everything shifted. Wherever you are, Dr. Peale, thank you. The book's message was simple. If you want to be happy and successful, you had better get yourself a positive mindset. I soon recognized what a negative, low-energy person I was being. I decided to change this. Every morning, I'd wake up and throughout the day, practice the mindset of being positive, no matter what. And it worked. Within 3 months, I had doubled my income. I felt lighter, happier, and more loved. That book gave me a truth that actually worked, and it taught me the most important lesson of my life. One truth, understood and applied, can change your life. That was the first step in what became a lifelong transformation. Since then, I've continued to search, study, and apply truths that actually make life better. And for over 30 years, I've helped others to do the same. Not as a life coach, not as a psychologist or therapist, not as a professor of philosophy, as a regular person who's walked through the fire and come out with real tools. Through AXSIOM, I now share practical philosophy that anyone can use, no matter their background, beliefs, or story. So, if you're curious, searching, or simply tired of empty advice, you're in the right place. Welcome to AXSIOM.